used to think Lucia Crimson Weave was the most anticipated character to come to Punishing Gray Raven. However, only days after her global release, I think a new character may have just come along. I don't know. Let's see, you be the judge for yourself. All I know is I'm really excited. If you have played through the Punishing Gray Raven story, then you will have seen this character before. In case you don't remember, her name is Bridget, and she's one of the members of the engineering core of Punishing Gray Raven. Now, a lot of people were anticipating Bridget to be added to the game as a playable character for a long time, but she never came. She was never announced, there was never any teasers, and so a lot of people had just kind of assumed that maybe she had just been moved on from, like some of the other NPCs that we've seen in the story. However, out of the wild, out of nowhere, Kuro has just announced and released some showcase beta footage of Bridget coming to Punishing Gray Raven. And one of the most interesting points of that is she's only going to be an A rank. Now, before you click off the video, just because she's an A rank does not mean she's not going to be a good character, but I have seen a few little snippets and it looks really interesting. But I've got a full showcase that we're going to review together and give you my full live impressions for, as well as share a couple other details I managed to scrape together. Let's go in and take a look. Now, first thing as always, I just want to give a quick shout out to Rexcellent. Thank you so much for posting this beta showcase footage. Always want to give a shout out and credit to those who put the original footage up there. Thank you so much. All right, let's see it. Whoo! Man, I'm gonna be honest, I think she looks really good. Really love the mech power armor, kind of like the exoskeleton kind of appearance to that. It works really well with her being part of the kind of like engineering core. It has a little bit of that construction feel. Also loving the parry. And some of these effects look fantastic. Now, for some of you who may not know, when the beta showcases come out, there's usually not any voice lines and or sound effects currently available from the kit. So that's why we do have some other music filling in here. Also, this is Gabriel. If you're new to the game and you haven't fought the boss yet, this is the Gabriel boss. So far though, I absolutely love her animations. I really do feel like since they've started bringing out kind of the Gen 2 S rank units, which are absolutely busted in terms of their damage potential, the A rank characters that have been coming out along with them are equally as good. We've got Han Ying that's coming in the next patch of the global side of Punishing Gray Raven, who absolutely looks phenomenal. Her fan looks fantastic. If you haven't seen my previous video reacting to her, you can go ahead and check that out, a link in the description. But I honestly think that Bridget is falling very much into that same category, that they're A rank characters with S rank animations. Like, A rank does not mean cheap, does not mean bad. In my opinion, most A rank characters, especially once you get into the Gen 2 era, it really means more just like accessible as opposed to absolutely broken. Now, obviously, there are S rank characters that are a little more broken than others, but I think she still looks fantastic so far. Now, from the little details that we have, she is a fire tank unit, which is really interesting, seeing another one of them be added to the roster. We did have a couple previous S-rank fire tank units, including Nanami Starfarer, and I believe it's Nanami Pulse, I think, is a fire tank as well. So that is another option. Or maybe it was Karenina. Well, maybe we'll double check. But that, and then of course, Nanami Starfarer, who was then later power crept by the Fire Watanabe fire tank, who's also absolutely cracked if you haven't seen that so far. But honestly, I gotta say that the animations look really good. The parries, Rexlin as always, just pulling out those parries. The combos of those power spikes and the way that they come through, I think it's really unique. It's like really something different that we're seeing out of the character that we haven't seen on some of the other characters before. So it's really exciting to see that even after, you know, the years that PGR has been out, that Kuro has still been like kind of innovating on the character designs. Like, man, I really do think that disc that's being thrown, I'm not entirely sure what that is. It's really interesting to see it. And it's been out there for a long time. It's really held that. Oh my gosh. Perfect parry as always. Man, looks really good. Man, that was out there for so long. It was like her baton that was thrown out there. Interesting. And that looks like a shield right there. Parried with it. Getting to see a little more of the actions. Oh my gosh, that shrug. Really like the flare on that animation. And we got the ground pound. Oh, I was gonna jump to the end there, but it looks like we got the, let's see this animation. Kuro is really pushing their physics engine on Bridget. Let's just put it that way. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's take a look at her character model a little close up here. Yeah. Man, I really like that it's like that old, almost a bit more of an old school look of like a construction exoskeleton as opposed to like the Rosetta Rigger, like full like mechanical body. Now, obviously you can see on her arms there that like, obviously it is still definitely like the robotic like construct route. Holy moly, that profile. Good gravy. But I will say I do really like it. Really interesting seeing her character model like this. I don't know if I was fully expecting it based on that original screenshot that we were checking out here. But again, really liking the weapons. I really like the look of those. What's that tail piece though? That seems a little bit weird. Now, one thing I do think is really interesting to note is they do keep her sunglasses. I know I did see some comments about people really wanting to make sure that she keeps her sunglasses. For those of you who are unaware, or you don't remember, she did have these sunglasses in the story mode that's there. So you can definitely see there's been some pretty significant upgrades to her overall character design, but I still think, in my opinion, they are welcome upgrades, that's for sure. As I said before, here's a quick look at her character card. As you can see here, it's not fully translated, but as best we can tell, she is a fire tank. That is going to be an A rank as well. Looks really good. Now, obviously, I don't want to take away Rexlin's whole video here. This is me giving some of my impressions on it. So if you do want to see the full kit in action as he breaks down all of the skills, I'll have Rexlin's video linked in the description down below. Overall, I do want to say I think Bridget's new construct or first time construct that's coming to the game looks fantastic. I think she looks like a really exciting character to play. Really like the initial look of the weapons, some of the dodge abilities that were coming into play, the shield that's there. I think her overall character design hits that kind of construction feeling with almost more of like an exoskeleton look in the yellow coloring that they've added to it. I think overall she looks like a fantastic unit and I'm excited to see her and actually get an opportunity to play her in the future. However, we got some rather great A ranks and S ranks that are coming. Also, Lucia Crimson we've just got here, so we're going to keep continuing to experiment with her and play with her in Punishing Grey Raven. And then Hanying. Again, Hanying. Fantastic. If you haven't looked up Hanying, again, check out my video down below. But that's going to be it for me. Let me know what you think about Bridget in the comments down below. Did she meet your expectations as longtime PGR players, or as a new player, do you really like the look of her design? I would be very much interested to see that. And to get ahead of the question, when would she be coming to global? We'd be looking at about another year. So don't rush too much or get too excited because it's still going to be a little while before she comes. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you next time.